Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. It's the anime Holy Grail War, Spring 2017. But before we get there, let's look at the outcome of last season's Holy Grail War. In 7th place, taken out quickly, was Assassin Rose from the Tales of Exterior the X's 2nd season. I guess even summoning Dezel to your side wasn't enough. The one taken out second was Berserker, Big Mom from One Piece, because a lot of people don't read the One Piece manga apparently, because otherwise they'd know that she's very powerful, and that's an understatement. Taken out third was the Lancer class, Hajime Sugoroku from Nambaka, because Lancers just don't seem to last, ever. Next to go was one of the estimated victors, Rider Kobayashi and her noble phantasm summoning Toru to her side, from Kobayashi's Senshino Maid Dragon. Even with the intense firepower Toru possesses, I guess it just couldn't make up for the weakness of Kobayashi, possibly taken out by a preemptive strike. In third place was another fan favorite, Rin Okamura, Saber from Blue Exorcist 2. Even with his demon fire spirit thing, he just still wasn't enough to match the top 2 places who fought it out, because while Saber had 163 votes, with 265 votes over 100 more, Archer Tanya Dugurcha from Yojo Senki, a dark horse candidate that no one saw coming to be so powerful. I guess the sadistic little shrimp actually posed a great threat to the rest of the competitors. Thankfully she didn't win, or else her wish would have probably been to, like, destroy God or something cool like that. Unlike the first place victor, who would have probably wished for more firepower, and winning by a landslide, possibly due to popularity, but I will disprove that in a moment. Caster Megumin. No, not that one, never in a million years. From Konosuba 2 with 413 votes. And now, for all you people saying that, well, she just won because she's popular, not because she'd actually win in a war. To that I say, possibly, but if she would win a war, this is how she'd do it.
Guys, do you hear a helicopter?
All right, Megaman, go, do it! And if any of you guys actually survived, we'll see you tomorrow.
And that's the brilliant strategy how to use Megumin to win Holy Grail Wars, apparently. I'd buy that. Anyway, this season the Holy Grail War is just as intense, with 7 servants all ready with their teeth bared to face each other. In the Saber class, while we had many options and many choices, including Yuya from Recreators, who I really wanted to put here just so I could say,
oh shit, boy, is this a motherfucking JoJo's reference?
but I guess I said it anyway, so I didn't need to put Yuya here. The other reason why Yuya can't be here is because I'm only doing 1 servant per series. Meaning, I'm not having a list of 7 guys from Boku no Hero Academia. That's pretty much the reason for that. Anyway, Saber's Eyes Wallenstein from Danmachi, Sword Oratoria. A story following creepy little weird lesbian crappy mage girl. And Eyes, the character we actually all wanted to see. Slightly emotionally suppressed. Eyes would rely solely on the master's strategies and on her pure strength and highly powered wind magic to win this Holy Grail War in a flash. She's known as the Sword Princess for a reason. Archer Altair from Recreators. Yes, even though this attack makes absolutely no sense, playing a violin and shooting swords together, which as we see later, she doesn't really need a violin. I guess she was just doing it for fun. Anyway, she's so badass. Aside from her straightforward abilities, like telekinetic swords and flying and whatever, her noble phantasm gives her the ability to summon fictional characters to real life to do her bidding. Now that's powerful. The Lancer class, Yi Shu, or Lord Grimm from the King's Avatar.
So before I get anyone saying that, well, actually, Yishu is just a stupid computer guy, and the guy on the computer is the powerful Lancer, but he's only good, like, in a game.
Shut up. And the reason for that is very simple. If the Holy Grail War could summon fictional characters, like they did in Fate's Stay Night when they summoned Assassin, they can also summon in-game characters. And Lord Grimm is quite the badass, and the animation on this bastard is freaking beautiful. This guy has a self-made lance umbrella thing that can rip people to shreds, and, you know, if the range is a little tough, he can always, you know, turn it into a Gatling gun to blow away anyone he feels like blowing away. Yeah, pretty badass, if you ask me. Not to mention a total genius at strategic maneuvers. Anyway, Rider, a class that everyone always bothers me about because somehow I missed the point that Rider has nothing to do with speed, but it has to do with riding something. Well, Rider in this case is Tokoyami from Boku no Hero Academia's 2nd season. And why? Because he rides his Dark Shadow. His Dark Shadow is the mount, sort of, and he's sort of the rider, so I guess it sort of counts. And for those of you who have anything to say that, well, it's not technically riding, whatever, look at this scene. Yes, this scene had more riding than, you know, the rider of Fate Zero or the rider of Fate Stay Night. So, be quiet. and bathe in Tokoyami's awesomeness. Yeah, I wanted to use him from Boku no Hero Academy more than anyone else, mostly because I didn't really have that many options for riders this season, but also because he's possibly my favorite character at this point in the series. The guy oozes badass. Yes, even though he has the face of a chicken. Good luck getting through Tokoyami's dark shadows, attack and defense awesomeness. Yes, he prefers to operate at night, but even during the day, I don't see many that can actually take this guy down. Holy crap, is this guy a beast. The caster class. So, again, let me just quickly mention Mamika from Recreators. Why did I want to mention her even though I have others and stuff? It's because she's my favorite character of Recreators, and people underrate her just because she's a magical girl, but they portrayed a magical girl great, so kudos, yeah. Next I wanted to mention is Zero from Grimoire of Zero, who is an extremely competent, overpowered mage to the extent that I can't use her for caster. Instead, I'd rather use the magic bastard Glenn Sensei from Rokudonashi Akashic Records thing, which I made an abridged on. The abridged was very awesome, if I do say so myself. It's probably one of my proudest videos I've ever made.
It shall be an epic bout of freestyle rap. Glad you challenged me. For that I thank you. Up against a grown man that is gonna spank you. An otherworldly badass that can really whap you. Though you don't expect this, now I'm gonna zap you.
Anyway, back to the war. Look the hell out for Glenn, because while he seems like a total novice noob putz for the most part, I'd look out for his huge magic explosion thingo-mahoozamabob that could make anyone in Fairy Tail jealous, and I would also look out for the Fool's World, his noble phantasm, which can shut down all other magical abilities in the vicinity, so it's hand-to-hand combat. And Glenn is pretty good. In fact, he's pretty good to the extent that in hand-to-hand combat, he would probably beat half the servants on this list. Or if his master, you know, gave him like a Tommy gun or something, that would also help in a situation like that. But they don't do that in anime because, I don't know, but whatever. Anyway, Berserker. Yeah, you all were waiting for it. It's freaking Eren from Attack on Titan. What's his noble phantasm? Use your freaking imagination. I think everyone on the face of the planet expected him to be the Berserker on my list, so I therefore do not really need to mention him. And since Attack on Titan is extremely popular, even though Eren is not the most awesome character, I would look out for his, you know, noble phantasm, the Attack Titan form. He makes quite the splash out of his competitors. Also remember, this is a war, and his emotionally unstableness may be his downfall, despite how much power he can dish out. And the assassin class. Well, there was part of me that really wanted to say Mitsuki from Boruto, because I guess he's the only half-decent-ish, not really character so far that the series showed us, and also because he's probably a love child between Orochimaru and Orochimaru's clone that used a female transformation jutsu, because I don't know anyone. Anyway, the assassin I'm using is Azazel, the demon from Shingeki no Bahamut, Virgin Soul. So, in the Shingeki no Bahamut world, after the end of the first season, don't want to spoil anything, the humans basically took over the demons, and most of them were enslaved. Few were in hiding, and only one was a vigilante, driving the entire human race insane with his awesomeness. Azazel, the clothed demon. No one knew who he was, and while he led a perfectly normal-seeming double life, he was out to kill the king, and he did a hell of a lot of cool, awesome damage while he was on that mission. But probably since most of you never watched The Rage of Bahamut, you're not gonna like the comment. But that's okay, because the comments are there. In the comment section, 7 of them. Like the comment of the character that you think will win this war. They have a season to duke it out, and next season we will see the victor. Ladies and gentlemen, I bid you a most wonderful evening. Feel free to check out my other stuff, and I'll see you next time.